Hello dear students, I hope you are doing well. Today we will learn how to use must and have to when we are talking about obligations. During the lesson, we will play an interview game together. I will give you a list of jobs and each of you have to choose one of the jobs and then we will start the game. Before diving into the lesson, I must say, so you must listen to learn this lesson or you just have to listen to learn this lesson. It's really important because it will help you to select must or have to correctly. Actually, you don't have to listen if you don't want, it's up to you. However, you are already in the class, so let's begin. I'm going to explain to you two modal verbs that are really confusing in English because the positive and negative have different meaning. So, what I'm going to teach you is the difference between the modals must and have to. In the positive, must and have to have the exact same meaning or the exact same function. In grammar, when we use must or have to, you can think about it like a law or a rule. Okay. Something that is very, very, very important. Basically, if you don't do it, there will be bad things that will happen. Must, rule or love. Have to and have to. Rule or love. So, must and have to we both use for very strong rules or laws. I want you to think about in your daily life. John, can you give us an example, please?
Yes. Let's assume I'm going to get on airplane. So I go to the airport. One, I must have or I have to have an airplane ticket. So the second, I must have or I have to have an identity card or a passport.
Well done. You used must and have correctly. Another volunteer, Sarah. Do you have any example, please?
Yes. If I want to graduate from school, first I must have to attend classes and I must pass the exams.
Well done, Sarah. You made it. Let's have a look at the grammar. So, must is very easy. It's going to be subject plus must plus your base verb. Subject plus must plus verb. Subject plus must plus verb. I must go home. She must go home. He must go home. However, have to is a little bit tricky. We have to be very, very careful or we must be careful. If you have he, she or it, we have to say has to. She, he, it plus has to. She, he, it plus has to. But if you use I, you, we, they, we have to use have to. I, you, we, they plus have to. I have to go home. She has to go home. So be careful with have to. So let's talk about the negative form. Must not, mustn't. Must not, mustn't. Must not is basically telling us a rule in the negative. For example, on the airport you can say, you must not smoke on the airplane. If you do it, you will get arrested, which means you will go to jail. Now, this is where we get really confused. She, he, it plus she, he, it. She, he, it plus doesn't plus have to. Doesn't plus have to. I, you, we, they plus don't plus have to. I, you, we, they plus don't plus have to. When we use have to in negative, we have some rules that we have to remember. Rule 1. We need to add auxiliary verb doesn't when we use she or he or it. Rule 2. We need to add auxiliary verb don't when we use I, they, we or you. Rule 3. We always use have to after auxiliary verb. Rule 4. For, rule and loves. Always use must for. Example, you cannot say I don't have to smoke on the airplane. Remember the rules and loves are always must or mustn't. So, congrats. Student, you have learned how to use must and have to. Now, it's time to play the game and practice what we have learned during the course. Let's begin. I will give you a list of jobs and you have to select one and then think about the rules of the job. Think about those rules and the obligations that you need to care about it. You have 5 minutes to write down some sentences with must, have to and negative form and then explains those rules to us. So let's begin. So John, which job have you selected?
I have selected a pilot.
So please explain us some rules of the pilot.
Teacher, he has to follow checkup and checkup rules before flying. He must lead the flight crew during the flight. He has to refresh his knowledge periodically. He doesn't have to guide passenger to find their seats.
He mustn't smoke during the flight.
Yes, and also he must find the safest rule for the airplane.
Or he has to find the safest routes.
Yes, teacher.
Thank you. Well done. So, Sarah, it's your turn, please.
Teacher, I have selected a dentist.
Dentist, okay.
Yes.
Let me give you some duties of a dentist, please.
I will do it. So
She or he
yes, must wear or a mask when she is working. She or he must keep
or
clean.
has to be
Yes, clean and hygiene.
the office
The office and dentist utilities. She mustn't use the dirty utilities for other patients. She doesn't have to make coffee for their patients, and she has to study to get a certificate before starting dentist.
Well done, Sarah. Thank you. Let's summary what we have learned today. Today, we have learned what we can use both must or have to for rules and love situations. Why must has the same structure have to can be as has to when the subject changes. The negative of the must, not, and doesn't need any auxiliary, and it's used for rules and laws. The negative of have to must have auxiliary verb don't or doesn't according to the subject. I hope you enjoy this lesson. For the next season, please complete the homework on page 10 and 11 on your book. We will revise those during the next season.
Teacher, can you give us a vocabulary
Oh, of
for
course.
this course?
Okay, accounted. So, just a minute, please.
Okay.
So,
Thank you, teacher.
I hope you enjoyed this lesson. For the next season, please complete your homework. Thank you.
Thank you, teacher.